We define ourselves through our history, culture, and food, but we so rarely think to stop and ask, how does it all work? Revealed examines the hows and whys while pulling the curtain back on the things you never thought to ask. On this episode, we search for the best pizza and find out what makes it so great.
There's a crunch on the outside.
And then most importantly, the cheese.
The sauce.
And the fresh mozzarella.
Add some basil to it, charred, not burnt. You gotta fold it up.
It's good cold, it's good hot, it's good room temperature. It's just like you're always down for pizza.
The Tri-State is home to a few friendly rivalries. Who's got the better team? Whose cities are cleaner? And which state has the best food? New York and New Jersey are constantly duking it out over who has the best bagel. New York thought they held the title of the best pizza.
New York pizza, I mean, I'm born and raised here in New York. It's absolutely the best. And everyone around the world knows it.
But that might not be the case. Any way you slice it, pizza is one of America's favorite foods. We eat close to 3 billion pizzas a year, making the US the second largest consumer of pizza in the world. So how did pizza become such a popular dish, and when did it get here?
A lot of Southern Italian men came to New York City, specifically from the region around Naples, and then from there, it just grew.
Is there a style that reigns supreme? Ask any New Yorker and they'll tell you the best pizza is in the 5 boroughs.
It shouldn't shock anybody that pizza is passionate for New Yorkers.
I mean, I'm gonna be partial, but yeah, the pizza here in New York is always gonna be better.
But there's another city that claims that they hold that title.
All I can say is get on the train and get up here to New Haven, because this is a place where we make the best pizza in the world.
I keep myself limited to 15 slices per week. So let's assume that I eat 15 slices of pizza per week. There's 52 weeks in a year. Let's say maybe 2 of those weeks might be pizza free. Just you never know what happens. People make mistakes, you know. I mean, lifelong number, 20 to 23,000 slices so far.
Scott Wiener turned his love of pizza into a career when he launched Scott's Pizza Tours in 2008. 15 years later, he's become the preeminent pizza expert in New York City. When it comes to pizza, Scott's seen it all.
I've had the $2,700 caviar gold foie gras pizza. I've had the poke pizza. I've had the pizza that was ramen reconstructed as a pizza. Bonkers.
When he's not eating pizza, Scott is probably researching its history and how the cheesy treat became ingrained in American food culture. He also has to maintain his record-setting pizza box collection.
This is my Guinness World Record collection of 1,800 pizza boxes from 125 different countries. And it's all living right here in the middle of Brooklyn. Oh, look at this. Tom Cruise, right? Brad Pitt, George Clooney. Look at this. Did they agree to be on a pizza box? Hell no. Are they on a pizza box in Italy? Hell yes. This one's amazing. Scooby-Doo box. Unlicensed. It's my favorite genre are the unlicensed boxes. Disney ones, oh, nothing better than an unlicensed Disney box.
What we think of as pizza today likely originated in Italy, but it has roots in ancient Egyptian flatbread, which was adapted by the Greeks and modified further by Italians. As the dish traveled, it continued to change into the cheesy, saucy food we love. There's some debate as to when exactly pizza came to the Big Apple, but we do know Southern Italians are the ones who introduced it when they came to America.
In the late 19th century, Italy had just become a unified country, so Southern Italians were hit with new taxes and blight on farmland. A lot of Southern Italian men came to New York City, specifically from the region around Naples, and settled in what we now call Little Italy, on Mulberry Street, or East Harlem, what is now Spanish Harlem. and the Belmont section of the Bronx, which is Arthur Avenue.
Italian immigrants adapted the pizza they grew up with in southern Italy to the coal-burning bread ovens in America. The earliest pizzas were cooked quickly at a high heat and had to be eaten before the crust got too tough. Fast forward to the 1940s, and the advent of the gas-fueled pizza oven changed the game.
That means that the temperature of that oven drops yet again, which means the bake time lengthens, which means the dough changes to suit the new oven, which means the product is different. That's when we started getting the New York slice, which now has become the classic New York pizza.
While a slice is great for the busy New Yorker on the go, don't expect to get one at John's of Bleecker Street. The team at John's keeps things old school by only serving whole pies, hot and fresh from their coal fire oven.
Yeah, we get the sliced crust every day. People call, they come in, they ask. I think they're used to the fact that most pizzerias sell by the slice. You know, we've done whole pies, for 90 years. Essentially, it's the way that it bakes in our coal-fired oven that gives it a distinct flavor that separates us from everyone else. The other thing is I tell anybody that if you ever reheat one of our slices in this oven, it dries it out incredibly, so it's never advised to do so, just because the oven is so hot. So when you have a gas oven that's a little bit more controlled in temperature, and you can bring it down to like 450 or 400, you can control that temperature. Here we can't. We peak between 700 and 900. If you put a slice in there, a cold slice, and pull it out, it's gonna be very dry. So basically you have to have our pizza the first time when it comes out fresh. That's the way to have it.
The team at John's is committed to keeping traditional pizza-making techniques alive. They still use the original oven that came with the building.
John Sasso came over in 1925, opened up a pizzeria on Sullivan in Houston, moved to this location. We've been operational since 1938. This oven here predates us. It's actually a part of the building, so it's circa 1912. This oven was originally used as like a communal oven that people in the building would use to cook their food and bring their food upstairs. And then it essentially became our coal-fired oven for making pizzas. I think the key thing for us is putting out that quality product and not being labeled as like a tourist trap where people are just coming from all over to try a subpar product. We have a lot of locals, we have a lot of regulars that come in, and we live and die by them. So make sure that they're always the ones I go up to and say, how's the pizza? It's amazing. It's even better than I remember. And those are the responses that we want to hear.
So I used to live upstairs from here when I went to NYU. I think that the ovens make all the difference, and I feel like this is the best pizza in New York.
The reason why New York City has the best pizza is because of the New York experience. It could be the worst pizza in the world and it still would be the best pizza because you're in New York City.
It's not really a fair fight when it comes to what style of pizza New Yorkers like most.
This is my favorite food since I was a kid. So New York pizza, I'm born and raised here in New York. It's absolutely the best, and everyone around the world knows it.
For us, especially that I grew up on it, my parents make it, so for me, it's always New York.
Yeah, that's an easy one for me. I'm going to be partial, but yeah, the pizza in New York is always going to be better.
It shouldn't shock anybody that pizza is passionate for New Yorkers. New Yorkers are passionate about their rats, So the thing about pizza is that it's sort of like a sports team. You have a local place and you tell everybody that they got to go to Fazio's because that's your local place. That's your team. Like, you're rooting for them because they're there for you. That comforts you when you're at home and you need something. We are at Lo Duca Pizzeria in Newkirk Plaza, which is a family-run pizzeria that's been here since 1989, and they're my neighborhood pizza shop. I guess you guys call these deep dish pizzas. These are like the thick pan pies, which I don't dabble in very often. New York style deep dish, you gotta love the ingenuity. I don't dabble in that because I would rather eat 2 slices than one of those. And so we have these relationships with our pizza makers, like the way you do with your barber. And it's different in other cities because in other cities, you sit at a table and you're disconnected from the production. In New York, you come face to face with the production. New York slice shops are one of the only restaurant types besides street carts where the front of the house and the back of the house are the same thing. And so it makes sense that you get to know everybody. In New York, everybody lives on top of each other in New York, so you have to get along with the person who's next to you. And there's no reason why the person who sells you your coffee or your bagel or your slice of pizza would be any different.
But it seems like that love for New York City style pizza stops once you cross over the Long Island Sound.
There's no reason to argue about a style being better. New Haven pizza is not a by the slice style. The New Yorker wants to walk in and walk out in 65 seconds. Even though we like the taste of New Haven pizza, it might not work with our lifestyle of having to walk in and sit down at a table. For me, it works. I'm fine with it.
There's no question which style of pizza is Ricky Consiglio's favorite.
Sally's 100%, no doubt. New York makes pizza, but it's not pizza. It's something else. Try Sally's, then you'll try pizza. That's the only answer I can give you on that one.
In 1938, Filomena Pepe purchased a bakery on New Haven's Wooster Street for $500 after her sons, Salvatore and Tony, had a small family disagreement while working for their Uncle Frank at his pizzeria.
Frank Pepe and my uncle got into a little argument. Frank Pepe says, "Get out of here, Tony." My father goes, "Hey, you told my brother out, I'm leaving too." Hence we have Sally's now. He said, "You never serve anything that you wouldn't serve your own family."
Sally's specializes in a style of pizza that has become synonymous with New Haven.
At Sally's, our pizzas are charred, not burnt. They're very sauce forward, kind of light on the moots. The bitterness of that char that blends really well with the sweetness of our sauce, and it makes a really balanced, perfect bite.
How often do you come to Sally's?
As often as we can. You can tell by the love handles. But no, I do enjoy coming down here. Anyone that's come into town, I tell them, let's play golf over at Yale and we'll go to Sally's afterwards. It's the best spot, best pizza you'll ever have.
If you want pizza, you want like the best pizza, and Sally's is the best.
Actually, I own a restaurant in Mexico. It's an Italian restaurant, and I'm famous because of my pizza, but this is better.
Sally's is Sally's, and it's the greatest place in the world. I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world.
He is one of the, we could say, original family members. He's my brother from another mother, in essence.
So once they get going, it's like a conveyor belt of abits coming out of this oven here. They're gonna start making pizza, and it'll probably take them maybe 30, 40 seconds to make a pizza. They're quick. Depends who I got on this peel. I got my A team and I got my B team. My A team is my real team. They're the ones that put it out. When they need it done, they get it done.
What team you got here at?
The old team. The original guys.
The TLC that's put into it by everybody that works there, it's like a family still. It was family-run business, started as a family-run business, and it continues as a family-run business.
Whenever we did this, we always had fun doing it. All the time. Always.
The workers here, they're all like a tight family group here. And that, they all take pride in what they do, and they want to do it right.
New Haven style pizza may be different from New York style pizza because the Italians who settled there were from a different part of Campania. They brought their own unique recipes for sauce and dough in the 1800s. Those Italians also had a slightly different dialect, which is why the pizza here goes by a different name.
Oh, you want some abits?
And that's how we've always said it, abits. And you gotta use your hand when you do it, abits.
Abits. Okay, well that's because the Italian immigrants over here, they go, let's go for abits, because of their dialect, their Italian accent and stuff, and that's where abits came from. It's from, derived from a pizza.
You have to get that hand motion in. It's a beats.
Yeah, it's a beats.
It's a beats.
And it really is. It's a sign of the ancient times. We cook the old way, we say the old things. Even though you could not be Italian, you could still say it.
Colin Kaplan made it his mission to learn everything about New Haven's pizza history in order to spread the word about the sauce-forward style across the country.
Connecticut actually has the most pizzerias per capita, and it's got the most mom-and-pop restaurants per capita of any state, and we've got the most Italians per capita of any state. So go figure, we're gonna have the best pizza.
Pizzerias have always been a community-based business, so it should be no surprise that they're family rivalries.
Sally's may have a diehard fan base with some notable celebrities, but there are a couple other pizzerias on Wooster Street that take part in a friendly rivalry of sorts.
So Sally's, Pepe's, and Modern are considered the holy trinity, the big three, if you will, of New Haven pizzerias. So you've got people who stand in line, wait for different ones, will fight over who's better. Families can't intermarry if they love one and love the other. You got to make sure of this before you date someone. It's a big deal.
Colin was living in LA in 2011 and missed New Haven style pizza so much he decided to open his own food tour company back in Connecticut. His goal is to share New Haven pizza with as many people as he can.
People always wonder, well, how is New Haven pizza different than New York pizza? And I say, it's just so much better in New Haven. I mean, you can go to 1,099-cent slices in New York, you can go to some of the better places in New York, and you'll still say, man, it's okay, it's pretty good. You can go to New Haven on a 1-block, 2-block area right here on Worcester Street, and you'll have the best pizza you've ever had in your life.
I think Sally's has endured because the pizza's amazing. To be honest, it's an honor to work with a restaurant that has such a legacy and tradition. You know, we have 3-4 generations of guests who come to Sally's, and that's a really unique experience. I haven't seen anything like that in my career. I haven't worked with anything like that. But being able to pay homage to that history and that legacy is probably one of the most special things about working here.
New Haven pizza is so good because it's so simple. Italian food is supposed to be simple, and it's all about the recipes that the families brought. So all these families brought over their simple recipe of bread baking with sauce on it, and it's the love, it's the passion, it's the recipe. And if you mess that up, and they do it all the time in other places, you lose that, then you lose what's so good about pizza. Pizza's not a fast food, it's an art.
So we know that people are passionate about their pizza. But what's the best topping? And is there anything that really shouldn't go on a pizza?
Anyone who tries to argue that there is a superior style of pizza is forgetting about the nuance of humanity. The whole beauty of life is that there are different styles. And maybe there's one that you grew up with, so you associate more with it, but you have to leave room for variation. I grew up with New York slices and suburban New Jersey style pizza. I love New Haven pizza.
Whether you're a diehard New York slice person, a New Haven fanatic, or a deep dish devotee, the most important element of pizza is the people who make it and the people who love to eat it.
This is one slice of pizza. I don't know why, but whenever I go to this place, it's so thin that I'll roll it up and I'll eat it like that. I'm not above that.
Not too crispy, because I actually like to finish it with the crust. But I always have them give me a little side of ranch on the side. It's the best.
Fold, unless it's way too hot, then you gotta give it a second, but always a fold, and then I like my slice nice and crispy.
I fold it. I feel like it's the best way. It's New York City pizza especially. It's designed to be folded.
No, I fold it.
I fold it.
If you go get pizza with somebody that eats it like a fork and a knife, I would just stand up. It's not too slow.
The average American eats about 46 slices of pizza per year, with 350 slices of pizza sold per second. Pepperoni is the most popular pizza topping in the United States, but everyone has their favorite.
I like mushroom and onion. That's my favorite, but she likes just cheese.
Mushroom, onion, black olive. That combo seems to be a winning combo.
I like veggies, so I think I will stray towards the veggies.
For sure, bacon and onion.
I'm a spicy girl, so I like putting hot peppers on it.
But everyone has their limit with what should go on a pizza.
But I don't eat pork, so no ham.
I hate to kick it while it's down, but I'm gonna go with pineapple.
Chocolate pizza, I don't think that's very good. I think it's definitely worse than pineapple.
Don't do mac and cheese. Don't put French fries on it. Don't start putting sliced meats all over the place and salads. That's not, no, none of all that stuff. Too much.
Every one of these styles developed at a different time and place based on a set of circumstances that are economic, personal, political. I grew up with New York slices in suburban New Jersey. I love New Haven pizza. I love Chicago tavern style. There's room in my heart for deep dish, although not as often as the others. So I got some funky stuff, but I always have to get the grandma pizza because that's my favorite here. A shrimp, bacon, hot and sour sauce situation, I don't know. I just gotta try it. Then there's one with broccoli, which I normally don't like broccoli, but I feel like these guys won't do me wrong. And this is like a honey sriracha chicken slice with scallions that I love. And I didn't order it, but they kind of assumed that I meant to order it, so I'm gonna eat it. Pizza's one of those foods that It doesn't have tight definitions, and anybody who thinks it does is just wrong. So because it can adapt and change, it always stays relevant. It's never something you can't eat, even if you have a dietary restriction. You're vegan, you're gluten-free, you're lactose intolerant, you don't eat meat, it doesn't matter, there's always a pizza for you. And I can't think of many other foods that are like that. All food, and all great food, is a composite of ingredients from everywhere. That's why it's so great when you look at Italian pizza and somebody wants to say that this is an authentic Italian pizza. And then you strip away and realize that that basil is from India and the tomato is from Peru. Then what is this anymore? It's a global food.